Hello everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. Today we're going to have a look at Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Now this has got some great little sort of dyad work in it to follow on from some of the lessons that we've done recently, and it's also got an opportunity for, if you're okay with bar chords, you can play along with bar chords like Fogerty did, or there's some other options as well for those of you that haven't quite got that under your fingers. Now there's a full PDF and chord sheet that you can download for free from the Facebook group. Head to the first link in the description. Join the Facebook group, head to the Files tab, and you'll find every tab and every chord sheet I've ever done on YouTube there for free. Don't want anything from you. All they ask is you go and get it from there. So let's get into today's class then. So there's a little bit of lead work and a little bit of rhythm work. These are the chords that we're using today. So if you want to use cowboy chords, you can use these ones, which is G, F major 7. Now it says F on the music. I want you to use F major 7 instead. C and D, or if you're a little bit further down the rabbit hole, here are the equivalent bar chords that you can use for this. Either's fine. To be honest, I would probably use a mixture of them both, depending on where I was in the song. So I might use the bar chords for the verses and then the open chords for the choruses, using a little bit of gain, make it sound a little bit bigger and a bit brighter, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. So we're going to start with the intro lick, which is the... So you have to forgive me, it's a bit cold in here today. My fingers are not exactly wanting to do what I'm telling them to do. So we've got repeat markers at either side, which means that we're going to play this lick twice. Now with my ring finger, I'm going to slide from the 7th fret to the 9th fret of the D string. And then with my middle finger, I'm going to play the 8th fret of the B string to create this dyad. Now, it's up to you whether you do 2 picks with the plectrum, or what I'm guessing Fogerty's doing. I'm guessing he's doing hybrid picking, and what that means is he's picking that B string with his middle finger on his picking hand. Either's fine, but notice how you give it a little bit more of a pop, a little bit more of a sort of... So maybe if you want to hybrid pick that, that's completely cool. Moving into the second bar, we're going to do exactly the same, but the whole thing is shifted down 2 frets. So with the ring finger, I'm going to slide from the 5th fret into the 7th fret, and then I've got the 6th fret on the B. So you've got... We're then going to slide from 3 to 5, but then I'm going to use my pinky to catch the 5th fret of the B string, because you'd be expecting it to be the 4th and it's not. And then as we move into the last bar, you make the same motion again between 3 and 5 on the D, and then with my index finger I'm going to catch that 3rd fret of the B. I'll talk about those last 2 notes in a second, but I just want you to practice those 4 movements across the 4 bars. And then with my pinky, I'm going to do that B flat note on the 6th fret of the low E string with an upstroke, and then 3rd fret of the low E string, which is a G. And that does that twice, so that's your intro. Pause the video and get that under your fingers, if you're okay. Oh, that's a little, that's sort of zoomed in, is that? I don't think we need that, but yeah, it's on the PDF if you want it anyway. So that's your intro, and then we're going to go into the chords. Now, the way that I've arranged this, I've arranged it in such a way that if I was the only guitarist on the gig, I'm trying to get all of the cool bits and the most recognisable bits into one sort of master version, so that you can play along with all the cool bits to the record. So I hope that makes sense. Now, underneath that, there's the bass. The bass is doing sort of... After you've played that intro bit twice, John Fogerty should start singing there, and his first chord's a G. Now, a strumming pattern is very, very loosely based on down, down, up, down, up. Now, it does sort of change here or there in the song, because it's one of those kind of jam band sort of songs. So I don't want you to take this mega, mega seriously, but this is the sort of vibe that we're going for. Down, down, up is the first half, and then up, down, up as the second half. Now you could use the G chord as the bar chord. smidge. Or you could use either's fine. Moving on from that, that's the 4-bar phrase. So this is verse. So that's what it sounds like with bar chords, or you can do it with open chords. G, F major 7, C, G. I think where possible, it does sound better with bar chords, just simply because that's the way Fogerty plays most things like that. He does also tend to tune his guitar to D standard. Now I don't know whether he's doing that in this song, which would yield slightly different chords. I'm guessing not, given that F would be quite tricky to play, but let me know in the comments if you know a little bit more than me about that. I'm just playing it in standard tuning because that's what most of us are tuned to. So have a go at that for me. So that's your verse, and then you've got the chorus part, which ain't me, I ain't a fortunate son, which keeps the same strumming pattern going, but we're going to change. We're going to go from G to D to C to G. So that'll be it ain't me, I ain't a fortunate one. We've got repeat markers, you could do it with cowboy chords. It ain't me, I ain't a fortunate one. Either way is fine, it sounds fine either way. I feel like when you're playing on electric guitar, if you can play it in bar chords, you have a little bit more control over it. Maybe that's just me. I feel like it's a lot tighter, but you guys can be the judge of that. So far, we've done the intro, we've done the verse, we've done the chorus. And this is spread out all over the PDF that I've given you. There's then this sort of, I've called it a solo or a break, or there's like a little lead guitar bit in the middle, which we're going to have a look at now. Now, it's very similar to the intro, but it uses different strings. Now we're going to use the 6th fret of the B again, like we did in the intro. But I'm going to play that with my index finger, and then I'm going to use my middle finger for all of the notes on the G. Now that, we're going to hold that. Turn me up a little bit. We're going to hold that for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm then going to move it down a string so that we've got fret 5 on the B and fret 6 on the G. Now the first, I'm going to pick this twice, but the first one I'm going to hold for 3 beats, and the second one I'm just going to hold for 1 beat, which 3 add 1 equals 4. That creates your 4 beats in the bar. So if I play from the beginning, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear how over here, this one lasted significantly longer than this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me play those 3 bars. This 3rd bar down here is the same shape, but we move it all the way down to the bottom of the neck. So you've got, hey, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the last bar, you're going to play that 1 and that 2. And slide it up 2 frets. Let me play the whole thing for you. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get that under your fingers for me, please. So one way or another, that's the whole tune. You've got all the 4 kind of main bits of it now, and it just sort of comes. Go download the PDF for this, guys, because the full structure of it's laid out there for you to use, and you can take a highlighter to it and scribble on it to your heart's content. At least you've got all the bits now. Now, whether you're doing this as bar chords or open chords, either's completely fine. As long as you're up and jamming to it and you're having a good time, that's all that matters. As far as equipment, John Fogerty sort of played a Les Paul pretty much exclusively from all the Creedence stuff that I've looked at. I feel like I've played my Les Paul a lot, and this one hasn't been out of the case since Riffs, so I thought we'd take this one out and have a go at that. Still just humbuckers, and I'm using both pickups at the same time. I've got a tube screamer on the floor with just a little bit of overdrive. Nothing too much to sort of write home about. And then I've got the Princeton with the treble on 6, the bass on 5, and the reverb set to about 3.5. And John Fogerty kind of, I know he sort of used a Les Paul for most of his playing, but there's not, like the amps and stuff that he used, there was no sort of like strict Fender or Marshall kind of stuff, but they're all sort of based off blackface amps. You think of something like Born on the Bayou. You know, I put some tremolo on and it's that. Loads of tremolo, loads of reverb. What's the first track of their Green River? Stuff like that. First track of the debut album, Green River. It's a great song. Go listen to it. There's loads of everything's like drowned in reverb and tremolo, and it just sounds really almost psychedelic, but it's got that southern twang to it as well. It's really, really cool. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling. Head to the first link in the description. You can download all the stuff that you need for this lesson for free, and I will see you next week for another guitar lesson. Thank you so much.